It's Friday. How's everybody doing today? I am dragging ass. I almost started late. Me, almost started late. Typical Cuban. We've got lots to cover today in the news. So let's see. All right, here we go. Good morning, Jason, Jennifer, Sir Wolfie, Thrax. That's who we've got in the chat today. Let's see if we can get somebody else going. Yep. If you hear gurgling in the background, please forgive me. Like I said, I am running a little slow this morning, so I am just now getting more coffee. So please, please, please disregard. There we go. That looks a little bit cleaner. Put my stuff up here. This week has been absolutely nuts. How's this week been for you guys? I'm still trying to get my schedule adjusted and trying to get my stuff together, which isn't very easy. So I'm all over the place, seemingly. Yay. All right, let me tweet this out. Provided that my computer decides to cooperate with me this morning. We are live. Let's see here. How long is it going to take? Yay, the seconds. Oh. I will get there. And here we go, tweeting it out. For those of you who haven't been on Twitter yet, my news is once again getting demonetized by YouTube. So my tip jar is as important to me as it should be. Because apparently YouTube does not like unbiased news. So we're just going to have to deal with that. It's not going to stop me from reporting the news. I am just not going to be making money on it unless, I get support from you guys in the chat and the rest of my subscribers. So let's go ahead and get the news started, shall we? Earthquake rips through Greek and Turkish resorts. Put this up here so you guys can see the pictures. Kos, Greece, out of the AP. A powerful overnight earthquake shook holiday resorts in Greece and Turkey, injuring nearly 500 people and leaving 2 tourists dead on the Greek island of Kos, where revelers at a bar were crushed and a building collapsed. Some of the injuries were caused as tourists and local residents scrambled out of buildings and even leapt from balconies after the 6.5 magnitude quake struck at about 8:30 a.m. 1:30 a.m. their time. 1:30 a.m. their time. Several 100,000 vacationers and locals in the two countries were kept awake by dozens of aftershocks that followed the main quake, with many sleeping outdoors on sunbeds or slumped on cafe tables. Authorities on Kos said the two dead tourists were from Sweden and Turkey. 13 others injured were airlifted to other Greek hospitals, include a foreign national who had to have a leg amputated, another with life-threatening head injuries. In neighboring Turkey, authorities had some 350 people were hurt, most with light injuries as they fled buildings. Seismologists said the shallow depth of the quake was to blame for the damage, and a 60-centimeter sea swell that scattered cars, boats, and trash bins across shorelines in the East Aegean Sea. Hundreds of revelers were in or near the popular White Corner Club, housed in a renovated building dating to the 1930s in the old town of Kos when the building partially collapsed. Christopher Hackland, a Scottish diving instructor, described the chaotic scene at his hotel when the quake struck. There was banging, there was shaking, the light was swinging, banging on the ceiling, crockery falling out of the cupboards, and pans were making noise, he told the Associated Press. There was a lot of screaming and crying and hysterics coming from the hotel. It felt like being at a theme park with one of the illusions, an optical illusion, where you feel like you're upside down. Turkey sent a vessel to Kos to bring some 200 Turkish tourists home and named the dead tourists as Sinan, that's a last name, Kurdoglu. The foreign ministry said a second national in serious condition was being evacuated to Athens for treatment. The quake on Kos damaged churches, an old mosque, and the port's 14th century castle, along with old buildings in town, but the damage was relatively limited. Kos Mayor Giorgos Kiritsis, said strict building codes have been enforced for decades following a deadly earthquake in 1933 that flattened the island's main town. There aren't many old buildings left on Kos. Nearly all the structures on the island have been built under the new codes to withstand earthquakes, the mayor said. Before dawn, rescue teams with sniffer dogs searched the rubble in the town, while dozens of villages were also checked, but found no more injured people. The quake caused rock cracks on walls of some buildings in the Turkish resort of Bodrum, flooding the lower floors of seafront hotels and restaurants, and sent more boats crashing toward the shore. The Istanbul-based Kadili Earthquake Research Center said the small tsunami pushed seawater up 100 meters or yards inland. And so that's what we have there. We started our newscast with earthquakes. It is the news. I am reporting it. So there we are. That's where I got it from. So that's our first story of the day. Let me see here. Let's see if that works. Everybody's playing around with the commands. All right, next story is, let's do this one. Yep. All right, we're going to talk about California next, and there's the girl that tells me my coffee. So this should be U.S. News. Yep, here we go. All the way over here. Mariposa, California. California's fire growth stopped, leaving homes devastated or destroyed. The town of Mariposa, with its century-old saloons and covered sidewalks, normally bustles with summer visitors on their way to Yosemite National Park. But the Gold Rush-era hamlet was mostly empty as ash rained down and heavy smoke from a nearby blaze darkened the sky. The blaze in the Sierra Nevada foothills threatened hundreds of homes and historic buildings, including a wood courthouse founded in 1854 and touted as the oldest active courthouse west of the Rocky Mountains. The fire did not grow as significantly Thursday as it had earlier in the week, but state fire officials revealed late in the day that 99 structures have now been destroyed, 50 of them homes. 11 homes and 5 other structures have been damaged. The wildfire has scorched 110 square miles. Welcome back, Thrax. Morning, Mitch. Yeah, no kidding. The wildfire has scorched 110 miles, that's 282 square kilometers, threatening at least 1,500 homes. So that's where we stand on the California fire. Let me see. None of the stories that I have read come up over the ridge. No, I haven't really seen anybody list a cause for the fires, even though some people say that a possible cause could be the massive droughts and then all of a sudden all the rain coming in for a short period and then everything drying back up again. So that's a couple of possible theories as to why the forest fires were running rampant and why they happened the way they did. I think I had another story last week where they talked about a possible cause. I'll probably see if I can dig that up and do an article for the blog as to what the cause of the forest fires were. Probably. I think it might have been a natural happenstance. All right, let's see here. Hey, Wikipedia. All right, let's see here. And this is also U.S. News, I believe. Let's see. Yep, here she is. Boy, that is the resting bitch face if ever I did see one. Ex-Florida escort sentenced for hiring hitman. And since it's just her face, I'm going to put her down here. West Palm Beach, Florida, AP, a former Florida escort convicted of trying to hire a hitman to murder her newlywed husband could get up to 30 years in prison when she's sentenced Friday, perhaps ending in a drawn-out case that drew notice for its startling videos and salacious characters. Circuit Judge Glenn Kelly is scheduled Friday to sentence Dippolito, who was convicted last month of solicitation of first-degree murder. She was recorded on video and audio in 2009 as she plotted to kill Michael Dippolito, telling an undercover detective she was 5,000% sure she wanted her husband dead. That's really sure. You know, she was really sure about that, apparently. Really, really sure about that. Typically, a defendant cannot be sentenced to more than the original sentence on a retrial because that would punish a defendant for winning an appeal. But prosecutor Craig Williams argued in court documents filed this week that Kelly, because he wasn't the judge at the 2011 trial, can sentence Dippolito to the statutory maximum of 30 years if he finds the original judge was too lenient. Anybody's still trying to figure out how they started the fire. Yes, it is a very bitchy rest face, boy, I'm telling you. Dippolito's actions are, quote, are the most ruthless, cruel, inhumane, heartless, and deliberate of any case, unquote, Williams wrote. Dippolito, quote, has earned every second of a 30-year prison sentence, unquote. Lead defense attorney Brian Claypool said in court documents that Dippolito deserves at most a 4-year sentence with credit for time served in jail and under house arrest. He said in a statement that Dippolito deserves leniency because Boynton Beach detectives railroaded her by playing to the cops' cameras in hopes of becoming famous. Cops was coincidentally in town when the case broke, and it turned into a special episode. It's the same argument he and co-defense attorney Craig Rosenfield used during the last 2 trials. Oh, yeah, you know, they were playing it up for the TV show, so, you know, it couldn't possibly be that bad, even though she was recorded saying that she was 5 1,000% sure that she wanted her, husband snubbed out. Really? Hello, Posmatic. Yeah, I forgot to put all the notifications in Discord this morning because my ass was dragging this morning. I was running a little late. I thought I was going to start the show late, so there you have it. It's Friday and my brain wasn't working the way it was supposed to. To give Dahlia a hefty sentence and send her to jail for many years sends a message that it's okay for police departments to break the rules and break the law and use contaminated evidence to get a conviction, Claypool said. Her attorneys plan to appeal the conviction. They can appeal it all they want, I'm supposing. During last year's retrial, they focused heavily on the 23-minute video in which Dippolito told undercover officer Benjji James she wanted her husband killed and agreed to pay $7,000. She also discussed various plots before Jean and he would kill her husband at the couple's home, making it look like a botched burglary while she was at the gym. Okay, that doesn't sound like it was played up. That just sounds like they let her speak and hang herself. This time, while the tape remained a key cog in their case, they also called Michael Dippolito a convicted con man. Boy, I guess birds of a feather, who tested that his then wife stole $100,000 from him shortly after they got married in February 2009. He also said someone twice planted drugs in his SUV and called police, which could have landed him back in prison for violating his probation. It seems like it was a match made in hell, doesn't it? It really seems like it's a match made in hell. Good Lord. I think they were made for each other. They just didn't know it. All right. Let's go to... No, I'm not reading that one. That's one too many. All right. Let's go to this one. We're going to world news. News. Hi. All right. Find the hell. All right. News. So, more information will probably come over this later, but precedents over the Syria. Over the Syria story. But here we go. Mexican highway sinkhole that killed 2 exposes corruption. This is 24 minutes ago out of the AP, so this is pretty much breaking news. Mexico City AP, when a car carrying a father and son plunged into a giant sinkhole that opened up on a highway in central Mexico, it caused Mexicans to shudder. Not just at the man's agonizing deaths, but at the corruption, shoddy work, and dubious government contracts it exposed. The highway connecting Mexico City and the Pacific Coast resort of Acapulco had only recently been redone and was still festooned with inaugural banners proclaiming, "Thank you, Mr. President, for the project." The government quickly removed the banners and fired a few low-ranking officials while the Federal Highway Department rushed to blame heavy rainfall, not shoddy construction, for the tragedy last week in which the men slowly asphyxiated at the bottom of the sinkhole over the span over an hour and a half. But it soon emerged that multiple local officials had warned of serious problems with the highway construction, and audits found overpayments to contractors who did the work, leading one anti-corruption expert to call what happened the same movie we've seen before when it comes to Mexican infrastructure projects. The difference is that it was a tragedy. There were deaths, but the irregularities seen here are the kind of thing that is seen constantly in this type of work, said Raul Olmos, a researcher for the nonprofit group Mexicans Against Corruption. Documents show local officials from at least 3 agencies in nearby Cuernavaca, just south of Mexico's capital, had repeatedly warned federal officials that a decades-old drain conduit under the new highway was woefully insufficient, prone to blockage, and in danger of overflowing. Juan Carlos Valencia, the head of the Morelos State Water Commission, had warned the Transportation Department about problems at the spot where a gully and storm drain cross under the highway. The drain that carries the water from the gully isn't big enough to handle the water, Valencia wrote. Transportation officials responded that the drain had functioned well for 40 years and they saw no reason to. Of course they didn't, right? Officials responded that the drain had functioned well for 40 years and they saw no reason to replace it. The warnings couldn't have been clearer as officials watched the water eat a hole in the containment wall supporting the highway. It was getting bigger with each passing rainstorm. Just 2 weeks before the highway collapsed, low-level Cuernavaca official Mario Meneses hand-delivered a letter to the transportation department. I'm telling you, that wall you built in this area is about to collapse, it said. On June 27th, the head of the state civil defense office, Francisco Bermudez, held a meeting with the transportation department's local representative. We made a presentation for him with a video showing point by point what the problem was, Bermudez said. On July 9th, it rained again and the hole got deeper. We called them again and they started repair work, but on the 12th, it rained again and they didn't have time. Oh. This just leads for everybody that has pretty much been following, even half-heartedly, the stuff going on in Mexico. We know the government corruption that runs rampant there. We know why they want to illegally immigrate here. That's a picture of the sinkhole, guys. That's a picture of the sinkhole. I mean, if that doesn't really tell anybody the seriousness of the corruption in that government. The problem is it's so corrupt, I don't think there is a way to fix it without a coup. And that is just my opinion. So there's your breaking news out of the AP this morning. Let me see. Where is our goofy story? We need our goofy story. Okay. Been doxed. All right. Texas company recalls coffee with Viagra-like substance. Some people got a bit of a preview this morning about this one, but I figured it had to be read. Grand Prairie, Texas, AP. A Texas coffee company is recalling one of its roasts because it was making some men a bit too excited. Best Herbs Coffee, LLC, issued the voluntary recall for its new off of Kopi Jantan traditional natural herbs coffee after the U.S. Food and Drug Administration found it contains methylcarbonidil, which is similar to the medicine in the erectile dysfunction drug Viagra. More than one thing was getting up in the morning. Woo-hoo. Yeah, I know, rhetorical. Best Herbs, which is based in the Dallas suburb of Grand Prairie, sold the coffee nationwide from July 2014 through June 16, 2016 on various websites and in some retail stores. Albert Yee, who identified himself as the product importer, said he did not know how much of the product was recalled after distribution stopped more than a year ago. All right, correct. Some customers were buying it to help in the bedroom, but FDA spokeswoman Lindsay Mayer said it's not clear if the product works like Viagra. It's been reported, but the FDA says the undeclared ingredient could interact and lower blood pressure to dangerous levels. Milk, which could cause a life-threatening reaction to consumers with milk allergies. The FDA advised customers not to purchase the coffee last year because of the Viagra-like ingredient. The notification was intended to inform the public of foods with hidden drugs and chemicals that are often presented as a natural way to promote sexual enhancement, weight loss, and bodybuilding, according to FDA warning. Morning, Ren. How are you? Best Herbs is notifying customers of the recall and offering a full refund for products returned by mail. So yeah, that coffee gets more than just you up. Woo! Talk about having a stiff cup in the morning. Have a stiff one in the morning. So those are our stories, from the serious to the odd and strange and sometimes funny. We have a reading Ren in the chat. Good morning. All right, now we're going to go on to our shout-outs. All right. Coffee when you need to be up and down at the same time. Good one, Mitch. Good one. All right, our first shout-out this morning goes to somebody whose attention I got during the Daddy 05 situation, Mr. Benjji James. He does commentary, he does reviews, he does gaming, he does a little bit of everything. It's kind of like me. There's an eclectic mix. There's something for everybody on his channel. A really good personality. He's really, really funny. So, y'all check out Benjji. Let me see if I can get his page to load. Yay, my computer's acting up this morning. Woot! All right, here we go. Come on, wake up. There's his page over there. All these links, as always, are in the description down below. Benjji James has one hell of a personality. Y'all go check him out. One on the list. He might disagree with me, but he's funny. He's got a personality to match, and his laugh is a little bit infectious. Thank you, Who Flung Poo, for the $2. Mad Woman, deuces. I'm talking about Roweman Lives. Alien overlord on YouTube, hell-bent on overtaking us. He did what was called a June challenge last month, where every day in the month of June, he did at least a 3-minute video. Some of his videos were funny, some of his videos were snarky, some of his videos were sarcastic, and some of his videos were live streams because he couldn't think of anything to do. But that is our lovable Roweman, and with only 257 subs, he needs your love, he needs you to visit him, and he needs you to hit that subscribe button. All right, let's see here. Next one. Known for the way that he takes on all sorts of religious rhetoric, for his live streams and his introspection and sense of humor, we are looking at Staggerson Jagz. Y'all come over here, over to his channel. He's pretty funny. I've seen him on a couple of live streams. He's got a really good personality. At 129 subs, that's not sounding too good, is it? Y'all go over there and pay Mr. Staggerson a visit. And if you like what you see, as always, that's what that subscribe button is for. Once again, that's Staggerson Jagz. And the last one. He's cute, he's animated, and he's an SJW, but we love him anyway. He rooted for our boy during the He Will Not Divide Us, providing us with funny commentary, reports, and updates, and I am talking about who doesn't love Thoggy? If you haven't visited Thoggy's channel, what is wrong with you? I mean, he is absolutely funny on his channel. At 590 subs, he's getting there, but he needs a little bit of help. Y'all go over there and support Thoggy and show him some love. Good morning, Ichabod! Oh my God, you finally made it to one of my newscasts. I was wondering when you were going to make it. Okay, so those are our shout outs. And now for this morning's cringe. This morning's Twitter hashtag is #embarrassing. So we shall get ready for this wonderful bit of cringe this morning. All right, let's see here. Yeah, no. 9-inch fails. Tom Petty and the Windbreakers. Mark Rowe. Men crying at work. Bruce Springsteen and the Erectile Dysfunction Band. Maybe they need some of that coffee. Short. Nickelback. Okay, I don't know why that's an embarrassing band. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it is embarrassing. Okay, you got to try a little harder. No, didn't miss the show. You did not miss the show, Roweman. We just got to the hashtags. Alice with Stains. Bare naked baby pictures. Reply to All American Rejects. Frankie Goes to Dollywood. Come on, be original, people. The Trumpson Twins. Okay. 3 Doors, Pants Down. That's a stretch. Men Without Pants. I think that's an actual band name. Fart of Noise. balls. Fall out of your chair, boy. All right. And last but not least, I got to find a good one to finish this off with because now they're bullshitting. The Courtineers. I'm going to end it with the Courtineers. Oh my God. So that is today's cast. Tonight at 9, Fenrir of the Right is having his Citation Needed stream. Tomorrow at noon Eastern Time, from noon Eastern Time to 1:30 tomorrow, which is Saturday, I'm doing a Chapter 3 of Patricia Cornwell's Postmortem, where I read it and then we discuss. For the book show there. The Clinton campaign, anything about the Clintons is embarrassing. You know, from their flat out abuse of, you know, perfectly good smoking material, very, very bad way. We need a citation on that stream. I will have the link to it down below, and I will also tweet it out. So it's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Citation Needed, and Fenrir of the Right. I will add those links in the description as well as tweet them out. If there is anything else you want to see on this show, please let me know either in the live chat before I end this stream or in the comment section below. I'm always looking to improve the show, and if I can figure out how to do it, the computer completely hate me. I do want to start having at least one guest on the show to help me read and comment on the news. Hi, Dark Art. So there is that. Interested in being a guest on my show by joining me in my Discord. So with that said, my friends, may your coffee ever flow, may your caffeine be ever strong, and may you have an absolutely fabulous Friday. And I'm going to meet my coffee nuts and coffee clubbers in my Discord. See you guys later.